Yes, hello everyone, welcome to WD18, the Watford fan channel. Welcome to today's video. My name's Jacob, joined by Sam Hughes as always. And it's an exciting day today. We're going to be talking about the Watford new home kit that was released today. As you saw, the promo video, which was centred all around Xisco Munoz, which was really, really well put together by the club. I enjoyed that one. And we're going to be talking about the kit. We're going to be talking all things Watford. So let us know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Please do leave a like on the video if you enjoy. Subscribe to WD18 and make sure you follow myself and Sam on socials if you want to get involved with more of the content. So, Sam, first off, how are you getting on, mate? We were both saying we're sweating cobs at the moment. I mean, it's crazy. We're the sweatiest. But just to kind of reiterate how hot it is, we're both sweating, mate. So, yeah, getting on, though.
Yeah, no, I'm all good. I mean, quite modest of you talking about how good that Xisco Munoz cameo was when I feel like everyone who watches the channel jumped off their seat seeing you in that video with Troy. Absolutely buzzing for that. Yeah, absolute class. Thought the video was brilliant. The kit's growing on me. We'll talk about that a bit more soon. But yeah, I think the main thing as well, I'm buzzing to be back at the Vic on Saturday. Yeah, and an exciting few weeks ahead.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. What was your favourite part of that video, by the way? Just, I don't need to say me, but like for me, I think my favourite part was covering the local man is pleased.
The local man is pleased. Do you know what? If we're taking out, your little cameo, I'd say I really liked. Do you know the bit when Dan Gosling's in the concourse area watching the goal against Norwich? I really like that one. Kind of like subtle digs at Bournemouth throughout the whole thing with the local man is pleased t-shirt and the Dan Gosling goal. Definitely wasn't deliberate, but yeah, absolutely brilliant. Really put together, well put together video, and we'll talk about it soon. But I love the fact that Xisco Munoz is at the centre of all of it. I mean, we haven't been to one game yet with Xisco Munoz in the ground, and there is a proper connection there between him and Watford fans, and that's absolutely brilliant. And I've never rooted for a Watford manager to do as well as him.
Yeah, for sure. I really want him to do well. Let's have a little look through your comments. Thank you to everyone who's joined us this evening. Over 40 of you. So make sure you do leave a like on the video, as I said, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Really do appreciate you taking the time out to join us tonight. Someone put, not Idris Elba, Jacob Elba. Cormac says it is heart emoji, sponsor, not too happy about it. Milkman says, in my opinion, this kit is better than last season's. Thank you to everyone for the kind comments about my pit. It was pretty simple, really. But I tell you what, mate, to get the bit with Troy was unbelievable. To be honest, I didn't expect to get the opportunity to do the video, but to do it with Troy was just unbelievable. And
love that.
It was brilliant. So made me feel so comfortable. Top class act. Fabrizio Romano making an appearance as well in the video.
Fabrizio loves the Orms. Fabrizio absolutely loves it.
He's a Watford fan. Fabrizio, we watch it. We've got to get him on, haven't we?
We need to get. We said this a couple of months ago when we were brainstorming ideas for something. We said a transfer video with Fabrizio Romano is something we have to get done on the channel. I mean, at the start of the channel, the ideas tick some of them off now. Getting Troy Deeney on the channel, getting more players on, and Fabrizio Romano is a target. So if you're watching, yeah, we'd love to have you on, Fabrizio.
We could do a teaser tweet like, here we go. I mean, beautiful. Sam, big talking point today, obviously, is the new home kit.
Yeah.
Can you summarise your thoughts on it? Because I think the general vibe is from what I've seen online is started off maybe a little bit hesitant from Watford fans, but actually it's grown on a lot of supporters as the day's gone on. Are you similar to that, or?
Yeah, I would say I'm similar to that. I mean, it is what I'm liking about Calme, at least from what we've seen this season and last season across the training wear and all three shirts and the goalkeeper shirts as well, is that it's different. I've got Ben Foster in an Adidas goalkeeper shirt over my shoulder, and that was just copy and paste for every team. And I really like the uniqueness of what they bring to Watford shirts generally. And it's different, and it's something that will get fans talking, I think, not just from our fan base, but I'm sure there'll be commentators, mentioning our kit next season. It's, your vibrant yellow and black colours.
It's unique, isn't it? Yeah, it's unique, for sure.
Yeah, it's really unique. And while that's not every fan's cup of tea, I'd say perhaps you'd want something a little bit more plain. I really, really like that in a Watford shirt, something to make us stand out a bit. So it certainly has grown on me. I think the sponsor was the main thing. You know, obviously I'm buzzing. It's supposedly a new record-breaking deal for us, which I'm all for, particularly after the pandemic. But it's just the size of it, I think, and the way that it's positioned in the center of the kit. But yeah, I like it. It's definitely grown on me, and I can't wait to get it.
And as a goalkeeper, Sam, I have to ask you about the goalkeeper kit. Ben Foster basically kind of not leaked it, because obviously he must have got permission to do it, but,
yeah.
But he basically put it on the videos and he did the announcement himself. And as Charlotte says here, love the goalie kit. Not so keen on the first team kit on first look. Maybe it will grow on me. Last year I wasn't convinced, but turned out to be a classic. Very, very true. We'll get onto the topic of terms of like classic.
I think at least with me with the goalkeeper kit, I really like it. Like I thought it had potential, but for me the collar ruins it a bit. The bit around the neck, I'm not sure if I'm.
You're a collar man. I think I'm a collar man.
I don't know. It depends on it, because I mean, if we talk about classic shirts quickly now, if I look at Watford shirts which have the proper collars on them, I can't really think of too many iconic ones. We've said in the past you absolutely loved the dry world kits when we had them for a season, but
that white one was absolutely beautiful. That was a beautiful kit.
The downside of that is that a lot of fans don't really resonate with that kit because it was a really disappointing season under Walter Mazzari, and I feel like that is where this kit will kind of sit in people's heads, that if we do well next season, it will become, you know, an iconic kit. If we do badly, it'll be one that people want to get out of their heads as soon as possible. I think people said that about the kit last season, and now it's going to go down as an iconic Watford shirt because it's one we got promoted in. So definitely it's you know, as with any kit, it depends on how we do. But
yeah. I completely agree with that. We had this conversation, didn't we, Sam, about the 2018-19 kit under Javi.
Yeah.
And like when that came out, it was a nice kit. I think when Jerry was like unveiled it, that was like one of the best announcements in recent times.
Yeah.
But because we got to the FA Cup final and because we were so successful under Javi, you know, when we hopefully have children, we'll see them probably wear it as a classic shirt.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. I was thinking.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Yeah, I was like, which kits do you reckon, like from say the Pozzo era, would be like what our kids would wear as classic shirts?
Question. I'll tell you what, before we get into that, let us know in the comment section on that. For me,
I think the cup final shirt without doubt will be one.
Do you know what? I think the first season under the Pozzo ownership, potentially, I don't know what.
Do you know what was an underrated shirt? The second season in the Pozzos, where it was the one which was half black at the top, half yellow at the bottom. I picture Hector Bellerin wearing that shirt for some reason, but that was a banging shirt. I really liked it. Again, it's not really thought about because we didn't do too well that season. I think we came 13th, 14th.
We scored 20 plus goals.
Exactly. And he looked like he was going to leave that summer. And then, you know, obviously he's still about now.
Yeah, for me, I think the 2012-13, obviously for the Deeney goal, that is just iconic, absolutely iconic. I think that one, the only thing with the promotion season one, it was quite a simple kit. Like, it was nice, but I wouldn't say it was like iconic because there's a number of shirts that are similar to that one. So I'd say the Puma 2012-13, you know what? I could see the first season back under Kike for some reason.
I could see that, yeah. That's what another thing, though. A lot of fans are making kind of connections with that kit and this one as well, just with the stripes, Spanish manager, first year back in the Premier League. So I can certainly see that.
Hey, we've got a great comment here from Joe Finley Bard, a long-time viewer of the channel, top man. Black and white stripes away shirt.
Brilliant about that.
Why have I got Daniel Tozer? Why have I got the image of Daniel Tozer against Millwall? That absolutely
taking his top off and just putting it over his head. That was brilliant about that. That was a brilliant kit. I'd really like us to in future perhaps do more of that for like away shirts or third shirts, do more like, you know, your commemorative sort of shirts. I'd love that. I don't know, for example, when we get to the 2024 season, something like what would be 30 years on since the cup final, do a retro shirt for that sort of thing. Would be absolutely brilliant.
You know what I find mad about the whole thing, mate, is when I was reading up Adam Leventhal's article on The Athletic, and he basically broke down the whole kit process, and it is mad the amount of effort and work that goes into making a kit. Like he was saying, already starting on next year's.
Yeah.
When you just released, mate, the process is crazy. Like, was there anything about this year's kit that like particularly stood out for you? So, like, for example, I thought, you know what, it worked quite well because I don't think this was deliberate, but I thought it was a kind of ode to the 15-16 promotion back in the Premier League in terms of the style of kit, because it had the hoops. It was a little bit different, but very similar, but it turns out that wasn't the case. I really like, for me, the Hornet on the back of the...
Yeah, I love that. That was on the back of the... it was on the back of the cup final shirt as well. I think that little Hornet is just it's brilliant. That's a touch that needs to stay now as well. That's really nice. Just a nice touch, yeah.
Yeah. And in terms of like what you'd want to see with like the other two kits, is there anything in particular? I mean, we're almost guessing here, aren't we? But any colours in particular? I mean, like for me, last year, I'd actually go as far to say one of my favourite away kits was that black third kit was so good. I always think the best kits are when you can wear them casually. Like,
yeah. No, definitely. I feel like, I don't know if anyone knows this in the comments, but I think they are releasing the away shirt next week, same time on Thursday. Are they releasing the away and the third at the same time? Or so I remember last season they announced the third shirt. Like, I mean, Chris Stark leaked it the day before Reading away.
Chris, what a legend.
They did that one on Hive Live. So I wonder if they'll do something similar again, or if they'll release them both next week.
Dan said in the comments, thoughts on a Shane Pond jump.
That's needed. That is needed.
Speaking of away kit, Joe with a fantastic comment here. Red and black Burner kit. Danny Graham vibe, mate.
I've got the Diodora red sign shirt over there. I say signed in a frame from back in the day. Absolutely beautiful.
That's like certain players as well. Like for me, like, I don't know, 2012-13, I always think of Forestieri. I don't know why.
Really?
I don't know why, but there's certain players.
No, I can see that. Yeah, definitely. I feel like that, for example, the first year back in the Premier League, 15-16, I feel like a lot of fans think Igalo straight away when you think of that shirt. It's those sorts of things. And I don't know why, like, if the cup final shirt from 18-19, the one I think of is Jose Holebas. I don't know why. I was absolutely in love with him that season.
After the whole turmoil of like him getting sent off, getting the yellows in the semi, which means he couldn't play in the final. And I remember when that got released, like Watford Twitter absolutely blew up. Absolutely blew up when that was announced. Yeah. We've got a shout from Adam here. It says 1920 away kit. I think you got that in the clearance, didn't you, Sam? What
I got the So I got. It was at the end of the season, and they had it was the blue one, wasn't it, when we got relegated? And they had because we were switching from Adidas to Kelme, so they had to get rid of everything. And I remember, I think it was literally I got it for like a £5 or a £10 in the Hornet shop in the Harlequin, I think it was. And it's a really nice kit. I don't really have too many fond memories with it. Obviously the relegation kit, but I think of that. When thinking of that kit, I just think of Spurs away when we were robbed of a penalty.
Yeah. Norwich away for some reason with that one.
Yeah, Norwich away as well. Yeah, there's another one. Certainly. Do you know what underrated shirt is? The green one, the green away shirt. That was a really nice one.
Yeah, mate, really nice shirt. I mean, to be honest, just on this year's kit, by the way, I saw it in person at the film shoot, and I'll tell you what, for starters, just on that, like, it was totally surreal. Number one, being in the kit video, but number two, seeing the players, like meeting the players, it was incredible, really. And it looked really, really nice in person. And it's it's really weird is seeing the players like HD in person.
I said this to you earlier. It's like, you turn into like a 5-year-old kid again, like walking into the room with the players. It's like scary.
So mad, but like it looked really, really nice in person. I thought, as I said, it gives me 15-16 vibes. I think it'll be one that probably grows on fans. And to be honest, mate, I think it's one of those where, depending on how well we do this season, as you mentioned before, that will be how the kit's judged. I'm a fan of it. I think that I get maybe some reservations about the sponsor because it is big. Like, let's not beat around the bush. It is big. It's big on the shirt. There's obviously the whole debate about whether you should have a betting sponsor on a badge. We won't get betting sponsor on a badge, betting sponsor on a kit. We'll save that debate for another day, and we'll obviously you guys will have your thoughts on that. But clearly, this is, from what we're reading, a really good financial deal for the football club in terms of how much that they're going to get from this. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's going to be a big deal. What will be interesting, as Gareth says, is will it be red names or numbers on the back? I mean, that would look nice. I think that would look nice.
I think Oh, to be fair, I think it was only on the goalkeeper shirt. I think it was white. Because I'll have a look quickly now, because Ben Foster did release a video today of them playing in training in the kit. So I think it was red. I can't remember exactly for sure. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I'm surprised though that we've never had red shorts as our primary colour, considering the whole like debate. I thought they just switched it up every year. I'm black shorts, to be honest. I am a fan of the black shorts, but I don't mind every so often switching up to the red ones. What I didn't like was last season a couple of times when we went with yellow shorts with the yellow kit. Wasn't the biggest fan of that, and I suppose it was only for convenience with it all.
Yellow shorts?
Yeah.
Throwback to, I don't know if you remember this, 06-07 when Watford played Man United in the FA Cup semi-final. We played them at Villa Park, and Gavin Marl had like all yellow. Hammer like that was the only last time I remember us actually wearing yellow shorts. It's so rare.
Yeah.
Like, although I thought, but I don't know if I put it as like a regular thing. Someone just mentioned on that. I apologise, by the way, guys, for the sweat I'm producing at the moment. I mean, it's
so hot.
Unbelievable. I've got the light up to show your face. It's about 30 degrees here. Like, apologies. So Freddie says black names, I think, are on the back of the shirt. In Foster's video, they were black and the keeper was white. So that's an interesting point. Hannah said the yellow shorts looked class last season. Why did Deeney do Jacob dirty like that?
He looks in phenomenal shape. I mean, you said it as well, seeing him up close. He looks like his old self, which is, it's encouraging.
100%, mate. Seriously good shape, Troy. I'm feeling good about him this season. Who else? Oh, just to reiterate, Philip Zinkernagel in person. I mean, I think I have a man crush on the bloke. He is not one hair out of place. The beard is looking immaculate. He's just so cool. I mean, actually, we'll just discuss that on Philip. We've gone from his modelling career to his footballing career, Sam. But we're reading from, I think it's
the Telegraph, I think it is.
Telegraph, John Percy, I believe, from the Telegraph, who's a very reliable source in terms of Midlands football. He mentioned about Philip Zinkernagel. He's been linked with a move to Nottingham Forest. I'd imagine that wouldn't be on a permanent basis. It will probably be on loan. It looks like, from what we're reading, Watford are looking to get in an attacker before they let Philip go. Your thoughts on the situation, Sam? Are you a fan of that? Are you not a fan of that? What's your thoughts?
I think it all depends on who comes in. I mean, I've said it before, I'm a massive fan of Zinkernagel, and I think he will better in the Premier League than what we saw in the Championship with just the way that Premier League games pan out. But it very much depends on who comes in. And personally, I'm not the biggest fan of it because I think Zinkernagel's versatile. He can have an impact on games and he can play from the start. So it's certainly a deal that I wouldn't really be looking at personally. For me.
I'm a big fan of Philip, and I think we've had this discussion before, Sam, about how I think he'd be better in the Premier League, playing against better players, probably having less time on the ball. But I think that suits him because I think often we saw last season with Philip where he struggled a little bit was when he had too much time on the ball.
Yeah.
Really, like, for example, the Rotherham game, when he was out wide, he was getting closed down quickly, producing really good moments. He's a clever footballer. And I think when he's getting pressured on, that's when we see the best of him. And as you said, the versatility with him playing left, attacking midfield, right, I just think that's a real waste if we let him go.
Yeah.
But then if we flip it, sorry, mate, just to add, if we flip it, he might be wanting regular first-team football. And if we promise him that, then do we want an unhappy Zinkernagel in the camp?
Exactly. It is a difficult one, and you have to look at the player's best interest as well and what he wants. Perhaps a year at Nottingham Forest will benefit him, and he can come back next season or something like that. But it's a really hard one. I feel like, as you say, he's a player, and there are certain players like this who work better off instinct, where they don't have that much time to think about situations and just go, they'll see a pass and just release the ball straight away. And I feel like he's a player who suits that much better. So I think, it's a difficult one to call, but hopefully we can keep hold of him.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts on PZ7 in the comment section. Interesting thoughts actually here. Joe mentions we've got to get so many players out the door. I mean, I think we're on our squad numbers probably on like 34, 35 at the minute. I mean, it's pretty crazy. We need to get at least 8, 9 out the door. Before the start of the season with a 25-man squad. Rudy says if Zinkernagel does go, hopefully it's just a loan, not permanent. Johnsy says, I think a loan is good for him. Zinkernagel is physical enough for the Prem.
Mm-hmm.
Who else have we got? Zinkernagel isn't physical enough for the Prem. So he's just he's just adjusted his comment there.
I don't think it's necessarily a need to be physical enough, because I think that first of all the Championship is much more physical and there were games where he coped, but also I feel like he's a player who perhaps suits dropping a bit deeper, not playing in a defensive role, but picking up the ball in deeper areas and kind of releasing it from there.
Yeah, agreed. And I guess we have that relationship with just on the transfer and whether it would go through. We have that relationship with Nottingham Forest, obviously, with letting James Garner go last season. Ben Watson, we've done business with them before. Pantilimon, another one. Like, this is a relationship that we've built up over a few years now. So I think it won't be a case of negotiations. It just does seem like if Watford get another player through the door, then PZ7 will be on his way. You know what? We've discussed the kit today. We've discussed discussed Philip Zinkernagel. Is there anything you'd like us to discuss in the comment section, Sam? Is there anything on your plate at the moment? I know you're active on Twitter. We're always tweeting about Watford, aren't we? Was there anything transfers squad that you wanted to bring up today? And we can get people talking about them in the comments.
I mean, before that, I was just to say that I went out for brunch yesterday with Luther Blissett, which was an absolute pleasure. That was absolutely brilliant, absolute gent. Really, really interesting to hear some of the stories he had and what we spoke about generally. Big things coming, hopefully. Keep your eyes open for that. Really, really good experience meeting him.
Luther, what a legend. Absolute legend of the football club. Arguably greatest ever player. Yeah, great ever player. And the thing is, mate, obviously for our parents, seeing Luther playing through the 80s, the golden era at Watford, I mean, that is the golden era. Seeing Watford playing Europe against Kaiser and beating them 4-0, I mean, that stuff is unbelievable. So casually go for lunch with him. I mean,
it's like if one of my kids, it's like one of my kids eventually will just go to me, oh yeah, I'm just going out for lunch with Troy Deeney. I'll be like, it's like that. But it was really good. It was really nice.
Top man. Okay, we've got some questions in the comment section. Before we do get into it, please do leave a like on the video. Sorry for the reminder. It really does help us out. Subscribe to the channel. And also, if you know Watford fans who haven't watched our stuff before and want to get involved, share the channel, get more people involved. We always want to get your comments on the channel and discuss them. That's what we're here for.
We get it's a weekly thing now because it's dragging on, but we have to get the weekly Will Hughes chat out of the way. It really is dragging on now.
Watford's own Iniesta. I mean, what is going to happen to William James Hughes? I'm not quite sure, mate, but I'm sure. I'm not sure. You know what? My gut is sure that I think he'll move on, and my head's like, "This is it." If he was to go, why hasn't he gone yet? You know, that's the bit confusing me. It's actually quite confusing. The situation. From what we've read, he's had a contract offer on the table. It's obviously been stalled. I don't think it's been rejected. It's been stalled, and he's seeing if there's any better offers for him, and for whatever hasn't materialised. So, what do we do as a foot? If you were Gino Potts or Scott Duxbury, what do you do in this situation?
I'd sell. I mean, I'd say that I wouldn't make because supposedly now they've got these general they've got these general rules with contracts. As we know, I think players now have to take a pay cut if we get relegated in order that we're not, financially in trouble if something happens again. And if Will Hughes isn't agreeing to those terms, then I wouldn't make an exception for that. I don't care how good a player is. I'm not saying Will Hughes is like this by any means, but hypothetically speaking, if he's not going to sign with a year left on his deal, we have to sell him because you can't be letting a player of his quality go on a free. If we can get I reckon we get 5 to 8 million for him, maybe.
Year left. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, let's just say he did have a long-term contract and he's in his third year. How much do you think he's worth? I'd probably say in the region of about 20 to 25. 20
to 25, I'd say. Really good player. I'd say it's probably not more because of injury problems. And I feel like at times, he has found his best position now. But at times we have questioned where is his best position. Perhaps that's why his valuation is not higher. But I can't imagine we'd get more than 5 million for him this window.
That would be going though, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So it's better than nothing, I suppose, which is why I'd sell now.
Yeah, true. Rudy says, I think Hughes unfortunately has to go if he doesn't want to stay. Joe says the disrespect he's getting from Villa fans is
mate. I saw the comments on one of their like main, like maybe like an equivalent to us for Aston Villa fans, tweeted like, "Oh, Will Hughes is a step closer" or something. And fans were like, "Oh, he's awful," that sort of thing. We want James Ward-Prowse instead. I think that's something that's holding it up as well. Is I think Villa are supposedly making their mind up between Ward-Prowse or Will Hughes. They're having a really busy window, and I mean, I know we got them on the first day of the season, which perhaps would be a good time to play them, but they're making moves. They will be strong next season, I think. I feel like that's why the first day,
isn't he? I mean, he is so good.
He is so good.
Very good.
And they're looking at the Bayer Leverkusen winger as well, Leon Bailey, I think. Interesting player. Can be good, can be all right, I suppose. So basically, definitely a good move, and they could be scary next season.
Yeah, Hannah makes a good point about Will Hughes. Frustrating as we spent so much time on him finding his best position. That is so true. It's not like, obviously, Will joined in 2017 under Marco Silva, and it's been 4 years since he's been at the football club. Basically, since we started the channel, funnily enough. That was like the first video with Will Hughes. But
it's been a really stop-start Watford career for him. I remember he didn't break into the team until a 3-2 defeat away at Everton, and he was absolutely brilliant that day. I mean, forget that game, awful. Tom, I think, cleverly missed the penalty with the last kick of the game.
Absolutely gutting.
Awful. Yeah, let's not talk about that. But he was brilliant that day, I remember. And then he played a couple games after that where he scored against West Ham, and then the game after he scored away in Newcastle, game after that he got injured against Man United and was out for about 6 months. So it's been really stop-start for him, and that really summarises his career in my eyes at Watford. And then eventually under Javi, we didn't really see the best of him, I think, out on the right in that 4-4-2 narrow sort of shape. Under Nigel Pearson, it was absolutely phenomenal. He was the real bright light of the relegation season. He was so good. And then the championship
at home was unbelievable. I remember when he just Pogba and I think it was Matic in the middle. I mean, he was so good.
Good. He was brilliant. Yeah. And I feel like when we were playing him in his best position in the championship, it was one of the main reasons we got promoted. But as we say, we can't be keeping unhappy players at the football club, particularly with a year left on his deal. If he's not going to sign, we have to let him go.
Let us know your thoughts on Hughes in the comment section. There's some interesting chat about him, and we'll probably continue to discuss it until it really does get resolved. And when we find out what's happening with Hughes, we'll do a video dedicated on it for sure. Pardon me. I'll tell you what, Sam, just to wrap up, there's been a lot of chat about the front three or the front line at Watford. Now, number one, what would yours be? If you were Xisco Munoz, you got to pick the formation, what would be your front? Well, what would be your attack? Would it be a 2? Would it be a 3? What are you going for? And anyone who's watching tonight, let us know in the comment section. And if you're watching this back, let us know down below who would be your attack.
I know it very much depends. I know you think it'll be a 2, but I think it'll be a 3 for more games. I've been thinking about this a lot. I think the one that's nailed down is Sarr on the right. I think that's no questions asked at all there. I really want João Pedro to start for us. I don't think he will, but I want him to have a big impact because I was talking about this with Luther yesterday, actually. The kid has so much potential. He's going to be unbelievable. He's going to be a world beater if we can get the best out of him. Could be Dennis on the left, King in the middle. Wouldn't shock me if Troy starts in his shape. It's a really difficult one to say. My gut feeling says it'll be Dennis, Deeney and Sarr. That's what I think it will be.
Is that what you want it to be?
I think so. I mean, maybe King over Deeney. Not disrespecting Troy. It's just I think that's a really exciting prospect. But if it's a 2, I think it would be Troy Deeney and Josh King. I know you're quite keen on that, having Deeney and King together.
Mate, I don't know. I said it when he came in. I just think with King's pace and Deeney's hold-up play, I just think it would be really effective. I mean, there's the option of that. So if the 4-3-3 doesn't materialise, then we can do that. But I think it'd be a waste with the amount of strikers we have at the football club already. I mean, to only then use one striker, I don't know whether would be the best move. But let's just say we go for a 3. Johnson's gone for Dennis, King, Sarr. HA's gone Sar, King, Dennis, Cucho. Cucho, mate, how saucy did he look in that kit, by the way?
I've completely forgotten about Cucho as well. It's going to be interesting to see what role he has next season, I think.
Yeah, very true. Dennis King Sar says, Dan, sorry, we just had him on the screen. Mini Apocalypse says 4-4-2 with Deeney King. Hannah says, really rooting for Pedro this season. That's the thing, Sam. With all these predicted lineups we're seeing at the moment, we're not seeing Pedro.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm thinking as well, though, he could take up a deeper role, perhaps in the 10 behind the striker. But I know we've only seen that once. I think it was the Nottingham Forest game, and he was brilliant that day, filling in when we had a few suspensions and injuries. But I really want Pedro to start for us.
Yeah. King's getting a lot of shouts. JP10 needs to play, says Jack. Not sure about Troy. Some interesting comments here. Rudy's gone Dennis King Sar. That's the three that we're seeing a lot at the moment.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, top man. And Aaron makes a good point. JP against the high line to allow Dennis and Sar to run in behind. King, a different sort of option in certain games.
I'm just thinking about that more. And I just said about Zhao deeper, but perhaps in like a false nine sort of role. In an area between being up front and attacking midfield, just to play balls through to quick wingers. Big potential to that, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, but I could just see. I'm really leaning towards a 4-4-2. I know that's pretty basic, but I do just feel a combination of Troy and King, Troy and maybe not Pedro, but maybe Troy and. I mean, then you've got Sar bombing through, and Semmers obviously could play.
What I was going to say is, if it's a 4-4-2, I think it'll be Ken Semmer on the left.
Yeah.
If it's a 4-4-2, and then I imagine, yeah, there's an option. Definitely, we're blessed with options, but I think this shows even more. I think we need to get more names out the door than we need in before the end of the window.
Yeah, and Charlotte says, let's go all out 4-4-2. Worked well last time we came up with Deeney and Igalo banging in the goals. A real kick-started the season. Obviously, we were doing brilliantly up until Christmas. King and Deeney to start first couple of games. Loser has to start for me. Troy has the potential to play like a Kane, a false nine, and getting back to defend as well as his work rate is good. We have so many options, says Jack. And look, we'll 4-2-4, real FIFA vibes with that. I'll tell you what, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. Number one, because the sweat is absolutely dripping off my face. We've talked a lot of Watford today. Obviously, the main news coming out of the football club is the 21-2022. That is a mouthful. Home kit for next season, released by Kelme. Giving me 15-16 vibes. Me and Sam are big fans of it. Maybe the sponsor company is a little bit big, but it's one of those where I guess that's part of the agreement when you do the sponsorship deals. But thank you to all of you who joined today. Really, really do appreciate it. If you did enjoy, please do leave a like. Don't forget to comment down below your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Follow myself and Sam on socials and WD18 at WD18 fans. See you very soon for more content. Cheers, guys.